I'm Nick Vecchio and welcome to Nick's Supper Club. Today we're going to be having pulled pork sandwiches made with some homemade coleslaw, some nice rolls with butter, and a side of a roasted ear of corn with cheese. Oh, unbelievable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down piece by piece as best I can. I had to make some things in advance because otherwise you and I would be here for hours, which wouldn't be bad. I like to entertain, but you know, let's be realistic. I only got about 15 minutes for the show. And later on today, very special, I'm going to have my sister-in-law Nancy sing along with me. I'm going to play an original song. She's going to sing some background vocals. And one of my guests, Matt, is going to play a cajon to keep some time for us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really what I do for a living is I'm a guitar instructor and I run a music school in Dedham called the Real School of Music. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. Salute. All right, we're back. I am going to start getting going with the coleslaw. The coleslaw is super easy to make. It's just a little bit time consuming. For those of you who have never cut up a cabbage, you know, you need to be really careful to cut it really thin. Otherwise, you end up with these big honking chunks of cabbage in there. Not a whole lot of fun. So if you look at a cabbage, you see there's just layer after layer. So you need to either you have a mandolin or you can do it yourself. Mandolin is one of those ones you can push through. I don't have one that's big enough to do a head of cabbage, so I have to do it by hand. So I just want to make sure that you see, if you cut super thin, really thin slices, you want to get it to cut really nice and thin like that, paper thin. It's so much tastier that way. This particular recipe calls for 1 full head of green cabbage and a couple of large carrots. In addition to that, you can use Spanish onion. It only calls for a couple of tablespoons. I used a purple onion. I just thought it would look nice for color. And then there's a dressing that goes with it. Again, I'm going to finish cutting up all the rest of the cabbage, making sure that it's nice and thin. Nobody likes big pieces of cabbage in their coleslaw, at least I don't. And next we're going to do a carrot very quickly. And what I do to shred the carrot is very simple. I use a cheese grater, just like this. I use this side with the big holes, and I just simply go like this. And I shave it down. It's going to look like that. And I'm going to throw this in. And I think I told you already how to make the dressing. I have a little bit of extra dressing that I made earlier to accommodate what I just put in extra to the coleslaw. So there's that. We're going to pour a little of that in there. Fantastic. And voila, you have coleslaw. And this coleslaw is super tasty. I think I failed to mention that was that in the road ahead. All right, now we're going to start working on our corn on the cob. It is out of season at this time, but I was able to find these beautiful white corns, corn on the cobs, and what I'm going to do is I am going to put 3 of the 4 elements of my cooking: garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper. On this, we're going to go with 3 of the 4 elements, omitting the garlic. So we're going to go with a little olive oil, just drizzle that, just like this, over the corn. We're going to go with a little bit of salt. That's about 1/4 teaspoon. Maybe we'll go a little more. And then we're going to go with some freshly ground black pepper. So we just use that if you have a pepper grinder. If not, just black pepper's fine. Now we get our hands dirty and we massage the corn.
Oh, groovy, baby.
Get that olive oil all over you. All right, so they're good to go. All I'm going to do now is we're going to grill these, and there's steps 1 and 2. 3 elements, salt, pepper, olive oil, grill them, and then there's another step to that, which we're going to get back to in a minute. Let me throw these on the grill. Should I let it happen? Should I let it happen? Let these grill up for a little bit until they turn nice and kind of brown and pop. And we'll flip them over until we get them all nice and brown on all 4 sides or all 3 sides. How many sides are there to an ear of corn? That's the question. Okay, now we're going to, after we've grilled our corn, as you can see it's grilled, And now we put about a tablespoon of mayonnaise on each. Mayonnaise, can you believe it? Wait till you taste this, it's unbelievable. Okay, next step after the mayonnaise is gonna be some grated Parmesan cheese. I grated a little earlier. We're just gonna put about this much, yay. Same for each one. Dump it over there, roll it all around in it. And then we're gonna just simply fold it over. And the next step is it goes in the oven. Now, I think I said this earlier, you can also put them back on the grill. Either way, whatever you're doing, if you're outside. I gotta have you, ain't no other way. Don't know. Right now we're gonna get on it with the pulled pork. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a dry rub. This is the pulled pork right here, not pulled pork. This is a pork butt. It's gonna be pulled pork, but it's a pork butt at the moment. This one happens to be pretty lean, but you do want some fat because the fat is tasty. Let's face it, man. We like fat. We like bacon. We like all that kind of stuff. So I cut off some of the extraneous fat that I don't think we need because, as a rule, pork butt is a fatty meat. Okay, so now we're gonna put some rub on the meat. A dry rub, because what we're going to do first before we put it in the slow cooker is we're going to fry it on all sides and get a nice caramelized outside. It holds the juices in nice while it's cooking. So you get the whole pork butt covered nice in the rub, okay? And then what we're going to do, we're going to fry that on all sides in this frying pan. Put a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil in there. Here we go, I've already measured it out. We're gonna heat it up. There it goes. In goes the meat. Oh yeah, the sweet sound of meat frying. Okay, we're gonna fry the meat on all sides and get it so it's nice and brown. You'll see once I flip this over, you'll get an idea of what we're looking for. And you'll also start to see some of the fat's gonna render, so it'll be... All right, here we are. We got the pork butt frying in a little bit of olive oil with the rub on it. And we're trying to seal it up, keep all those juices in there nice. We're gonna fry it on all sides in the oil and some of the fat that's already rendered. Do it a couple minutes on each side. And then when that's all done, we're gonna put it in the slow cooker. Okay, our meat is over there frying. It's just about done, and I'm gonna get everything else that's gonna go in the slow cooker to create the sauce that goes along with the meat when it's all shredded. And the meat's gonna go in, and we're gonna cook it for hours. So what we're gonna do is the first thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add a cup of barbecue sauce. Now I happen to make this barbecue sauce myself from tomatoes and a whole lot of other stuff. That recipe's on my website. It really is very good. We got one really big onion all chopped up. That's going in. We're putting in a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. And you could use white vinegar or other vinegars if you want. Half a cup of chicken stock. You could use beef stock if you like. I happen to be using chicken stock today. A couple of cloves of garlic all chopped up. Quarter cup of brown sugar. Putting up a fight. All right. We got a tablespoon of regular yellow mustard. You know, like French's, the kind of stuff that you put on your hot dogs at a parade, maybe. Anyway, mustard. You can hear our friends in the background all getting ready to eat. We have about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and then a tablespoon of chili powder. We're gonna mix that all up and get ready for our meat to show up. So there's the meat, all nice and browned on all sides. That's going right in, just like that. And then we're gonna cover it. We're gonna turn it on high for 4 to 5 hours. There we go, we're on. All right, so our pulled pork looks like it's ready to me. It's been sitting there for a few hours, about 4, almost 5 hours. So now we're going to pull that pork out of there. It may fall apart. If I did my job, oh yeah, I did my job apparently. It's just going to fall apart. And look at that, it is fantastic.
Wow.
And we're going to pull it all out, and then we're going to shred it with these 2 forks. And then we're going to put it back into the sauce that was created by all the other stuff that I put in earlier, and all that delicious fat. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to pull it apart like that. That's pulled pork by definition. So we're going to take this, shred it all up the best we can, and then we're going to put it all back into the juices, which are right here. GoPro. And then we're going to put it in the sandwiches. I found my wine, just in case anybody was worried. So now I'm gonna fry up the rolls. We have these nice little artisan rolls that I got. We're gonna fry those in butter, just like that.
I know you'll hurt me one day, this I know. I think it's worth all that risk for potential pain. Ooh, you're so pretty, perfect as a dream. Help us when you're near me, help us when you're away. Help us on the telephone, don't know what to say. Help us as that feeling when my strings are out of tune. Help me 'cause I feel like
And everybody takes themselves an ear of corn along with a pulled pork sandwich, and off you go. Questions, anybody? Hey, fellas! Pull the pork. All right, everybody dig in. Make yourselves a plate.